Welcome to Imperfect in an Uncertain World, resources for living with authenticity and purpose. How do we find meaning in our life when the world's uncertain and maybe we get stuck with all of our imperfections? I'm going to say that meaning is to be found within the pause. So, what is the pause? I'll begin by explaining a little bit about it in common everyday terms. It has been said that rhythm is found not in the musical notes, but in the spaces between them. So we understand the song not by the notes, but by the pauses. Meaning is not found in words, but in the pauses between syllables. So we can paint a picture of what a person's saying by listening in the pauses. Understanding the Tai Chi body, mind, spirit connection is not found in the breath, in the inhale and the exhale, but in the space between the inhale and the exhale. That's when you discover your balance, your concentration. That's when you discover how you're flowing. So the pause can really be found in everything that we do. It's vitally important to how we respond to the world or how we react out of our triggers. How often have you missed the meaning within the pause? And by that, I'm going to say, how often was a trigger flipped before the pause was identified? And it was only later, whenever you took a look back, that you recognized what was going on, but you weren't mindfully in the moment. Being aware of that pause. Because I can tell you, I know that I have flipped triggers more often than I am comfortable to admit, that there are many times that I'm not in the moment. And that's an ongoing life practice. Through the pause, that's where our intuitive awareness activates. We notice nuances, we see even patterns in our life, and we find meaning within those nuances and within those patterns. Those pauses really are the weave that connects the essence of who we are to our intent and action. It connects the essence of who we are to our soul purpose. So perhaps one of our greatest challenges is learning to live in the pause. We can only be in that space, and I said this before, is when we're in the moment, when we're practicing mindfulness. In that space, the past no longer pulls us with its regrets and remorse, and the future's lure of hopes and dreams loses its allure, where we know the past happened and there might be things we have to work through. We know the future is yet to come, but we only know that we have this moment. So I'm not saying that the grief of the past should stay unresolved or that we should never have hopes and dreams. What I am saying is that we cannot afford to be anywhere other than in the present moment. For when we're in the here and now, we find the energy to carefully nurture those seeds of possibility that are found only in the pause, that we are only made aware of when we truly enter the pause. So what I am proposing is that we acknowledge what pulls us from the moment and muddies our connection to the present moment. And part of the acknowledgement is to take opportunities to feel the poignancy of what intrudes and then heal those parts of us that were wounded by the past. And that doesn't just happen in this moment, it happens in a series of rolling moments. Now, as for our hopes and dreams, because those are much more future oriented, let's ask ourselves what we can do in this moment to nurture our hopes and our dreams. It's not enough to admire our hopes and dreams. We must find a way to bring them alive in the moment. How we resolve our past and bring fruition to the future are birthed in the pause. For really, within the pause, we're able to understand without logically knowing which is the best path on this journey. And maybe it's about which is the best step on the journey at this point. So, how do we get to a place where we comfortably and actively engage the pause? I'm going to give you some suggestions, and to recognize that each of these practice sessions only needs to be 90 seconds or so. So, listen to the rhythm of the music and how you're being impacted by the moments of the pause in that music. Listen to how the pause impacts the conversation you're having. Walk and find the pause in your gait. Now, this pause helps you to develop an awareness of, or what I'm going to say, not the pause, the practice helps you to develop an awareness of how the pause presents itself to you. And through practice, your awareness of what opportunity presents itself in the pause increases. So the more you practice, the more you're comfortable being in the pause. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to notice in music, how does the pause shift your energy? In conversation, what meaning do you grasp within the pause? In walking, what does the pause tell you about your physical balance? Now, recognizing the pause is a way of welcoming richness into your life. The pause is really the home of transformation, and using information gained in the pause shifts your reaction to an increasingly uncertain world, and those reactions are shifted into responses. So I want to thank you for listening to the pause today. If you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. More resources are available at intentandaction.com. That's INTENTACTION.com. If you need a little bit of help learning how to be in the pause as a intuitive life coach catalyst, I'd be happy to work with you. Give me a shout out. But if nothing else happens, spend time becoming comfortable with your pause. Thank you and have a great day.